Come on, Odie. Come on, Juno. Odelina. Taro. Juno. Oh my God, these sheep kill me. Come on. You want to go down and get some hay? Come on, Bubba's. Yeah, good boy, good girl. Are you coming? You gonna wait till I get all the way? Well, Zosie's coming. Dogs are after something. Okay, am I reading the room wrong? Do you not want hay? I thought you wanted hay. Maybe not. Maybe I'll go check how much hay you have left down there. I thought you were up around the house because you wanted me to get you more hay, but let's go check this out. So it took me to get all the way down here. See, they're still there. Before I realized what message they were trying to give me. They want me to put the hay in the truck and drive it up there because they have been eating in this area for the entire winter and they are really sick of being down here. And it's feeling really confining, totally understand. And they don't like being so far away from me and the sheep and the dogs and like the hub of activity. They want to be more in the center of it. So I don't know that I can do that. Well, I guess I could do it today. I just got to walk back up and get the truck. But tomorrow we're coming to do the proper big hay bales and I'll take them up there. Yeah, we'll run them up there instead of spreading them out down here for sure. So message received, you guys. And now, is it really important to have the hay up there? Or my idea was to put it in the pole barn for you. So at least it's protected. Mind you, it's not supposed to rain or anything. So they're holding pretty firm to their idea that I bring the hay up there. And I'm kind of, so we're kind of waiting to see who's gonna say, okay, all right. I'll have to think about this, feel into it. I have just finished laying out. There are 13 piles of hay. And look who's here. Yep. Thank you, Zosie. Because as I was working, I was like, or their idea could have been to give me enough time to get all the piles laid out with no stress and no pressure, because as you can see, I have to walk quite a distance to get all their hay piles laid out. And voila, I just finished. And here is the first horse. Of course it's Zosie. Once again, their idea is always better than my idea. My idea was like, hey, why don't all 11 of you follow me down here so you can be crowded around my little entrance there, fighting and scrapping with each other and trying to get inside my enclosure and stressing me out and making it take 3 times as long. And then they were like, why don't you just load up the truck and bring it up? And I'm like, but we're doing that tomorrow. So I don't really want to. And that means I load it twice. I load it in the truck and then drive it and then unload it. So that's 2 sets of lifting for me. And guess what the best solution was? Jeannie, you come down here by yourself. You get it all done. As soon as you're done, it's finished. And I was counting in my head as I went. I got them laid out and top, and then Zosie appeared, and there's coming down the, you can just see her under the barn roof there. There's Big Mama and Sione coming next. Are you guys gonna run? Because that would make a good video. They don't look like they're going to run. They look like they're going to just mosey on calmly down here. Yeah, I was thinking of topping out the piles a bit, so maybe I'll do that. While the herd slowly, gently moseys on down here. Much better idea. Once again, listen to your horse. And one last thing, because I know I've been asked this question before. People are like, if you can communicate telepathically with your horses, why don't you just do that all the time? And I said, why would I want to do that when we have every method of communication open to us and the others are so enjoyable? And, you know, yeah, if I were to drop into meditative state and connect with them up there and spend 5 or 10 minutes really syncing myself, grounding myself, getting myself clear so that I could reliably receive a telepathic communication from them, I would have been able to achieve the same information, but I didn't feel like doing that. I had just cleaned out the wood boiler. It's actually quite cold. My nose is running. I just want to get it done. And so I'm not going to pretend, just because I took a few deep breaths and grounded myself, that I've had a telepathic communication with them. I mean, maybe I could, but then I would have to double check it with the physical signs. So this way, it's just kind of a mishmash of everything and flashing each other quick pictures and then saying, well, how about this? Well, how about that? And also when most people are talking about animal communication or telepathic, they don't allow a lot of room for the animal to say no. You know, they think that if, successful communication means that the animal receives my idea and follows my idea. And with them, it's almost always that they have a better idea. So, and then because I'm a stubborn human, sometimes that takes me to walk a physical path and then them to show me physically. And then I'm like, okay, fine. Yes, your idea was right. It was the best idea from the beginning. Fine. So, you know, animal communication, listening to your horse, telepathic communication is just one of all of the communication tools we have. Not just with horses, but other humans too, and our nonverbal babies, autistic children. You know, so just encouraging everyone, think bigger, think broader, open it up. We got communication here between Mama and Zora. See, Zora moved off that pile, but now is Mama going to change her mind and want the pile she's on? Oh no, and Zora's going in. Okay, time to move. No, Zosie, no, Zosie, no, Zosie. No, Mama, no. Okay, that's my bad. I did leave it open. See how Sione doesn't go in? Yeah. Mama and Zosie. Oh, this is gonna be not fun, but I gotta get them out before the rest of them come down. Come on. Out you go. And this is where we're moving to physical communication. Because, oh no, Sione's in here too. Okay, you go out. Good girl. All right. Sione, Mama, let's go. Come on, Sione, out you go. I was relying on you. Okay, Mama, I know you don't like whips, so I'm keeping it low. Good girl. Thank you. All righty. Well, there we go. Live demonstration of when pictures and telepathy is one thing, when the physical body has a strong desire for something, and there's pressure coming in the form of other horses on the way. So I was simultaneously sending them pictures of them leaving and why. But what I was primarily asking them with was physical. So, Milo, Jaya. So again, I can send Milo and Jaya a telepathic good boy. Come on, Milo. Come on, Jaya. Good puppies. Good girl. Good girl. But when they're in chase, no, don't pee on the hay. Milo. Oh my God. See, and the rest of the horses are all coming in. Yeah, so I can send a telepathic message to these dogs who are genetically bred to herd and chase, to stop herding and chasing. And guess what? They can't hear me. Their mind, their consciousness communication space is pretty filled with a very strong driving imperative. So that's when I move to the physical. I move to my voice. I'm simultaneously using my energy. I'm sending it out to them. And sometimes they listen and sometimes they don't, which is what real communication looks like. Real communication is not, oh, I know I'm being successful because my horses do everything I say every time I say it. No. You're still in dominance and you're still in control. And you're still in, I'm the human, listen to me, I'm the boss. There's Cobra. So Juno and Taro are coming last, but they were really enjoying being up near the house. There's my girls. And there comes Juno in the distance. Oh, he slowed down. There's Taro. Oh, waiting for Dad. Oh, they're so cute. He slowed down and waited for Dad. So why am I not calling the dogs off now? Because Juno likes to run with the dogs. You see how they didn't really chase him? He's like, come on, little puppies, let's go. And they're like, yeah, no thanks. What you doing, Taro? Did you stop for something? What do you think? Puppers, you gonna go? No, not even gonna approach Taro. And now you're going to see why I put out 13 piles for 11 horses. Because part of herd behavior is to keep moving. And see, Montaro just moved Odie off her pile because that's how they roll. And it's good because it keeps them physically active. Motion is good for horses. And you can also see that, maybe I've got my piles spread a little further apart than a lot of people would need. Again, you've got to read your herd. There's Montaro moving Posa. Odie's going to go back to her pile. So this movement, are you going to go move every pile, Taro? He may. He's very calm. He moves people gently. And then you get stuff like you see Kalia and Cobra sharing a pile. It looks like Cobra wants her to leave his pile and go find her own. Yeah. Meanwhile, Sione's on the move. Taro's on the move. Kalia just moved Zeta and Makamape. Taro moved Juno. So far, everyone. Now, see, Zosie's right on the outskirts there. I've put 2 piles outside the pole barn, specifically for that reason, because Zora is the lowest ranking horse. Well, Zora and Zeta trade off for that role, which means there have to be some piles put out that kind of feel far enough away that maybe the other horses don't bother too much. So then she doesn't get moved continually. She'll get moved, but not as much as if all the hay piles were under the pole barn. And it's interesting because this is an 80 by 200 foot pole barn. So I'm taking up maybe 50 feet for the hay storage and the rest is theirs, but it's an energetic boundaried space, you see? So even though they have tons of room, all the hay piles under the pole barn are one boundaried space. And then the hay piles that I've put outside the pole barn where Zora is, and there's another one to the left of her, those are outside boundaried space. Now, is Cobra going to go check them out, or is he going to move Zora? But you see how this is happening after the fact. And it expands the space. The ask is not as strong out there. Zora's lingering quite a bit. Sione moved her. So now we've got both Kalia and Sione at the piles that are outside the pole barn. You see how Zora didn't come into the center here. She's going to come out. She's going to go around and come back in one of the other entrances. All the energy and attention has come down to this end of the barn, leaving this end of the barn pretty wide open. So again, this is all good. And these piles are where the snow falls off the roof. They're now solid ice, so you have to look for a gap to come through, and it's very slippery, so the horses don't want to be crossing here in stress. But see, I'm watching now too to see, well, what is Zora telling me about what I thought was a good distribution of hay piles. But again, see, we've got a solid ice wall along that line. So we'll see. It's really important. You have your ideas, and then you really need to watch your horses and see what they tell you. Zora's also the oldest horse here. She's 19. So I am more concerned with her getting enough food. Now I'm kind of skewing the results because wherever I am pulls attention. So I'm going to move away from Zoe. I'm going to come over this side. And see, this is really important. Like, spend this time watching your horses. See what they say to you about what you thought was an adequate distance between piles. Is it? Taro, you spicy today. Sometimes Taro needs to sample every pile, and then he'll settle down. And then when he settles down, everyone can settle down. So I'm going to keep watching, and nothing is more important than time. Because I could go, okay, no, it's fine. Zoe got pushed out. She came around. She came in. Everything's fine. No, I'm going to watch for at least another 45 minutes to an hour. Because I need to see, well, how much is she getting pushed off? Is she having to continually come in and out and do, 5 times the amount of movement, which burns calories, than the rest of the horses? And then watching to see, well, maybe I need to put a bunch of piles over the ice barrier there. So that when she does because there's no ice barrier down this end of the barn so here's the realization. I put it outside the boundary of the barn, but there's no ice barrier on that end. There's no deterrent for the other horses to move her or not move her. So that's come through to me right now. I am going to put at least 2, possibly 3 piles on the other side of this ice barrier, so that if and when Zora and possibly Zeta get pushed out, they don't have to come back in to this space. They can eat out there where there is a bit of a barrier to deter the other horses from moving them quite so frequently. All right. And again, is this telepathic communication? No. This is pure observation, physical level, but yet I'm also, I didn't even think about the ice barrier there. That was information that came from my body to my mind. Yeah. See, now, if that wasn't Montaro, she might not be able to come around to here. Like, let's say that was Odie or Sione and they're feeling spicier. She might now be stuck there and not be able to come around through the middle. She's got to have a big pee first, and she's going to go get some water. I want to know if she's going to drink from the water hole or from the water flowing into the water hole like Zora likes, but looks like she's going to the water hole. You okay for me to come close? I'll go to the other side of you. Nobody likes to be crowded when they're going to a water hole. So here we are the next day. Yes, sheepies. We threw them some hay just inside their fence line, but we've got piles of hay all over that whole stretch of field. And then you can see where we put it all over this field. And then right next to the house, could you be quiet? I'm shooting a video here. We've got piles all through this field here too. And the reason that this is actually going to work is because if the hay is near the house, the dogs will keep the deer and elk from eating it. Otherwise, this hay that was out here would be eaten while the horses were busy down this side. You know what she's asking me for? Alfalfa pellets. Yeah, they're like, forget the hay. We want the alfalfa pellets. Isn't that right? Yeah, you're all going to start yelling at me in a minute. I can't wait till little Polka, that's the youngest one there. He's just got to get a little bit bigger and I can let them out of here. See, the other lambs are much bigger now. They'd be safe to be let out, but little Polka? Little Polka's still too small, so we got to keep them all locked up in here. Look how cute he is. I'm not bringing you alfalfa today. No. And she's like, why don't we get it every day? Because you don't, and neither do the horses, but